Live from a garage in Gainesville, Florida, like two muertos de hambres. It's El Cuban Dudes Show with Andy and Abel. From the 305 to the 352, from Miami to Gainesville to Orlando to Tallahassee to Jacksonville and beyond. It's time for El Cuban Dudes Show of Florida. Dale. El Cuban Dudes Show of Gainesville, of Florida, of Miami on a March 14th, 2024. Beautiful out here in Gainesville. Brought to you today by Havana Club. We're getting drunk and fucked up from the get-go. Here with my boy, like usual, Abel Cepeda. Abel, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? How you guys doing today?
What is going on? Indeed, it's going to be a great show. We're going to be talking collateral interest and Miami. We're going to be talking balseros and comepingas online, making us all look bad.
And there's Comepinga.
And we're going to be talking forex trading.
Oh, I like that part,
and
dude.
how to get rich with our boy
I like
Peter Dominguez, who's on. Peter Dominguez is we'll talk more about him when he comes on. Let's go ahead and just jump right into this. Let me disable my thingy. Let me turn you on like usual. Here, holy shit! Look, boom.
Hey, how
Let's
you
come
doing?
out on that side. That's annoying as
Hey,
fuck.
how you doing?
Look at that. We're both named Abel.
How
Live
does that work?
live shows.
Hi, I'm Abel. It's kind of like
Live
it's like,
shows are a damn thing, man. Andy, there you go.
I'm Spartacus.
Abel, I'm
Yo.
gonna go ahead and share my screen here.
Go ahead, man. Do your thing.
People could go ahead and see
Absolutely.
your latest and greatest
Vamos a ver.
contributions to Hollywood.
Let's do it. Hollywood is in the house, ladies
Hollywood
and
is in the
gentlemen.
house here. I'm just shamelessly gonna share my desktop. I really don't care.
I mean, at this point, Andy,
Yeah, it's like who gives a shit.
just share it, baby. Share it. Let us have it.
If it comes up, it'll come up in a moment. As this is coming up, Abel, tell me a little bit about what you were doing down in Miami.
So my brother, we were down there, somewhere in Coral Gables, dude. We had the premiere of Collateral Interest, which will be coming out on Amazon Prime on April the 16th. This is the TV series that I was telling you, my brother. So we finally were able to get all of us together. Some of the actors are coming in from New York and California and all this jazz. Everybody's hyped up, super jazzed. We were able to all get together. We hadn't seen each other already for like about a year and a half since we filmed. It was a great experience. I mean, there was cameras and people taking pictures and food, dude. Pero qué maravilla, dude! What an experience. We were able. What happened?
Do you see my screen?
Oh yeah, he looks like you're.
Hold on, right.
Coño, who's that guy with the bow tie?
Who's that girl? Ño, qué lindo.
Mira para allá,
Qué
soy Cookie.
Qué cookie la ve, coño.
Dale.
Lindo palo.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I was able to get all nice and dolled up, but something I can't do
Beautiful
here in
wife, Amy,
Gainesville.
next.
And Amy, man, pobrecita, she supports me on all my bullshit, dude.
Yeah, pobre Amy.
Yeah, man. Esa cubana me ha salido de lo más bien, brother.
Look at this motherfucker.
And I bring it.
Look at this like a mafioso.
Yeah,
there.
bro. I was telling you. So you see the buildings in the back, dude? We were like somewhere like in the 15th, 20th floor, por ahí arriba. Nada. So that was the first interview that we were talking about our outfits and what was our inspiration and what character did I play. Nada, man, it was a great experience. Esta una colombiana ahí que nos estaba haciendo el interview. That's my boy right there. The guy that you said, that's the director from Agiopong Films, y'all.
Nice.
This gentleman right here, super nice guy. He actually studied to become, I think it was like either a neurosurgeon or something like that. All his family are into the medical field, and he told his mom, "Listen, that's really not my passion. This is your passion, ma. I kind of like movies." So the guy's done already about sweet Jesus over 100 films already since he started
Damn.
filming. Yeah. He gave us the good news that he finally that night that he got a call and he's been inducted to Hollywood. He's a Hollywood director as of that night.
Shit.
Yeah, so it kind of made us, he brought us all up. Now we're all Hollywood actors in a sense, without
SAG card is in the mail.
SAG car is
sometime
in the
soon.
mail, baby. Yeah, man, this guy, I'll be honest with you, man, he's an actor's director. He helped me out immensely. He told me how to, hey, stand like this, say it like that, redo it here. Let's take all the the takes that we need to make the shot perfect. Uh Showed me how to act, showed me what method acting was, to the point where the gentleman ended up being a great mentor, a great teacher, and at the end of the whole thing, a really good friend, dude.
He could rock those skinny pants without the
No,
socks and
these
shit
cats
like a
were,
badass motherfucker.
no, man, this guy's always fly. Even when he's filming, he's fly like that, dude.
What about let's see
What else you got?
who's next here. Oh,
Those
look
guys
at
are all
this
from
guy
New
with
York, by the way.
the pink.
So this cat right here, he's actually the lead guy. His name is Kevin. The lead guy, his name is Dante in the TV series. And now we're talking. He's like, I hadn't seen him in a while. He's like, Yo, Abel, you remember, man, when we were taking, we were doing all these the Zoom rehearsals and shit, man. Bro, those rehearsals were grueling, bro, from like 7 at 6 in the afternoon to 3 in the morning, man.
Yeah.
Going, everybody doing their thing, just reminiscing, man. It was all good. We hadn't seen each other forever, bro. I think there's gonna be a lot of breakout actors from this TV series, because there's a lot. So here we have a couple of the producers. We have a couple of my cartel guys, one FBI agent. Yeah, that's me right there next to my cartel cats. It was fantastic. What a beautiful night. I mean, this thing was great,
Nice,
guys. I
man.
mean, what an
Nice.
experience. And that's the
Collateral
poster,
interest.
dude. I don't know if you guys remember the ball headed guy. He used to be play a lot of the bad guys and come in the '80s and late night and early
Yeah.
'90s.
There's something about it. I do remember him from just like 80s, early 90s flicks. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. That guy just tiene cara de malo, bro. That must
Siempre,
suck to be typecast like that.
siempre tiene cara malo ese tipo, brother.
This guy could have not been like Leonardo DiCaprio on like
Fuck
Titanic
no,
or
this
some shit like that.
motherfucker's fucked. Entonces we got DeAndre. This guy's another famous actor down here.
This dude.
Yeah, no, not that guy.
Oh, this guy here.
That guy right there. The guy in the bottom. His name is Manu. He's actually pretty famous in the Dominican
This guy
Republic.
looks pretty ¿cómo se llama esto? Familiar to me. I've seen
Yeah,
this.
he's got a podcast in Hollywood, but most of his famous stuff is also in the Dominican Republic.
Nice.
Yeah, man, it was a great experience, man. I can't wait for you guys to enjoy it and vote and let us know that you like it so we can give you season 2.
Very nice.
Yeah, man, we can't wait. We're all excited, dude. What a great project.
I want a round of applause for
Oh, hold on, let me do that. That's my turn.
collateral
I
interest.
thought
And
that
when-
you
and
were
when-
interviewing me.
And when does collateral interest come out again?
April 16th, ladies and gentlemen.
April 16th.
Vayan para allá, cómprense el Amazon,
El Amazon Prime.
el Amazon Prime y cójanlo y mírenlo y me dejan saber, por favor.
All right, man. I'm happy, man. And you made contacts out there, right? Didn't you meet interesting folks out in Miami that are gonna maybe don't give away too much detail,
Right.
but maybe gonna help out on Cuban Dudes show?
Yeah, dude, I did meet a couple of folks that are willing to. I mean, I was telling everybody about Cuban Dudes. Hey, have you seen the podcast? Have you been-" To the point that I think if you want, we can. And not that if you want, but he's already said that he wants to be on the show. The director, the guy you saw with the cool pants,
Oh, nice.
and even my the cast and crew of the cartels, they're willing to.
But does he know what he's about?
This about us?
So far?
No, he has no idea. But he'll roll with the punches. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, we could be nice sometimes.
Sure, we can.
Yeah, we could be nice. Especially when we have. I would consider somebody like that a special guest
Right,
to El Cuban Dudes show.
right.
Yeah,
I think you should.
yeah.
I think you should because I need season 2.
Abel doesn't want to be fired.
No, I don't want to be fired. Even though I thought I was going to get fired every time. Because I was like,
So let me see here.
go ahead.
Your director, hardworking guy,
Hmm.
values work, values hard work,
Right,
values growing up. I mean, black dude, right?
right,
Probably grew up in a situation where he saw a bunch of people around him that could have done better in their lives, like we
Right.
do in our Hispanic circles.
right,
But he persevered. He worked hard. He
right,
didn't cheat the system.
right,
He wasn't, as we would call a son of Savanang Beach.
right.
And he directed your show, right?
No, the guy really,
He works hard.
no, the dude works hard. So let me tell you how hard he works, and he made us work. Uh, if you guys think that we go in there and it's like a 3-hour thing, a 4-hour thing, and call it a day, that doesn't work that way. We start call time is at 7 in the morning, and we work all the way to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Then you get all your shit, get back in the car, in the van. They take you back to where you need to sleep. You sleep about 2 hours. Call time again at 7 o'clock in the morning. You better be on set or you lost your spot because there's always understudies. So in other words, that means there's somebody learning your lines in case you don't show up.
Unlike some of these motherfuckers. Check this shit out.
Let me see these fuck.
El cubano que quiera coger este video y cogerlo para su cosa, a mí me da tres coños. Yo llevo 2 meses nada más aquí y mi sueño es comprarme un carro aquí y irme para Cuba, porque ese es mi sueño. Eso fue lo que yo soñé y eso es ese es mi sueño aquí. Para que sepa, si lo quieren coger para el relajo, lo cogen para el relajo. Pero ese es mi sueño y cada cual tiene un sueño. Mi sueño es llegar a este país, trabajar y irme para Cuba. Irme para Cuba con mi carro, así sea un Honda, así sea, porque mi sueño es ese y nunca lo tuve en Cuba. Y por eso es que me quiero ir para aquí, por eso es que yo, como nunca lo tuve en Cuba, me quiero ir para Cuba. Por eso vine aquí, brinqué frontera, me fajé hasta con el marabú, me fajé con la culera. Y para eso estoy aquí, porque
Eso
vine a
es una
comprarme
mierda.
un carro para irme para Cuba, porque ese es mi sueño. Y no me importa ni Otaola, ni me importa nadie. Otaola por ir para allá. Yo soy libre.
Usted es policía. Usted viene a Estados Unidos de misión internacionalista para aportarle la economía de la revolución. Usted es policía. Usted sabe que usted se reporta en un departamento tú sabes, 100 andados. Tú sabes, hacer que tú te veas. Hacer, voy a averiguar el nombre. ¿Con quién es que tú? Yo voy a averiguarlo, hacer. Yo voy a averiguarlo, bro. Te lo juro, lo has harado.
I don't know what that other one was about, but the main guy that looks like a fucking chupacabra, bro.
Yeah, that dude in the front.
Yeah, I mean, for those that are listening to our show that don't speak Spanish, what this guy was basically saying was that he wants to go ahead and come to this country. His dream is to come to this country, buy a car, and just go back to Cuba. Like he don't give a fuck. He's not interested in participating in the economics or just the system of this country. He doesn't care. His whole vision, his whole goal in life is just to get a car and go right back to Cuba.
The funny part is how is he gonna get that car there?
I mean, I don't know. We're pretty.
I mean, really, dude. I mean, now that I'm hearing this guy, he's like, no, I just want to come here and grab a car and take it. How are you going to take that to Cuba? Do they allow those cars in Cuba? I mean,
I don't.
What's the
know.
story
I've
with
been
this
watching
guy?
videos lately of people in Cuba having fancier fucking
Oh,
cars
then
and this and that and the other.
that
I
may
don't
be
know
a
what this
thing.
but this just brings up the subject of
Of
there. Honestly, we're trying to be a little bit more disciplined, a little bit less vulgar on the show, I guess, if you will.
oh fuck that.
In some ways, but there is no other way around it but to call these
No.
guys just a bunch of son of a bitches. You know what I mean? And these types of people make Cubans, make Hispanics in particular, just look bad, man.
They do. They really do. I mean, we laugh at it and stuff. It may be a little comical in the middle of the night when you're looking at the fucking TikTok in the middle of the night. But then you look back and you're like, coño, qué clase, these guys make people like us look like shit, dude.
Because we don't know if they're fucking around
Right.
just to get clicks. We don't know if they are the types of people that are just trying to stir up the pot with a stick.
And that's the
You know what I mean? With the shit with a stick and be like, hey, at the end of the day, I was just joking or some kind of deal like that.
right.
But however you put it, you know what I mean? You're influencing others, whether you're being serious or not. You're influencing others to think that that's okay to behave that way, that's cool, that's funny, that's cute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When at the end
I
of the day,
see.
all you are is un come pinga for doing that kind
Yeah.
of shit. I mean, let's just put it that way. There's no other way of putting it. You're just just a low class fucking person that in all reality, dude, just like I said, there's no other way around. Just makes us look bad.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of fucking parasites, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, because I'll be honest with you, dude. Like when all this shit happened back in the '56, that people had to leave the island. A lot of people that left had educations, dude. They were lawyers and they were bankers and they were dude. And you know what they had to do because they didn't know the language? Those people were cleaning. They were going to Woolworth to either to clean the counters or mop the floors and they would force their kids to go to school because they knew that this was the land of opportunity. That if they learned the language and they learned the system because they knew that there was a system that wasn't the Cuban system, even though at that time still was very similar because they had done the constitution like in 40 something, which mimicked ours a lot. Which is why the Cubans nowadays are saying that if something happens with Cuba, all we need to do is roll back all the bullshit that they made and hit it back to 1940 something and then build from there because it was more similar to the United States than anything that they have now. But going back to what we were talking about, you know, even after that, in the 60s and 70s, when people were coming in here, man, you were forced to learn the rock and roll bands. You need to learn how to do their dances. You needed to learn, the language. You needed to learn the jokes.
You had to assimilate. To the culture.
Yeah, you had to assimilate the culture that these guys don't want to do. They don't want to leave Hialeah. They don't want to leave, to the point that Hialeah, to this point, you go to McDonald's and they don't sell you an apple pie. They give you a fucking flan.
It's not that they don't want to leave Hialeah. They don't want to leave fucking Cuba. They want to bring that mentality of being a shithead that you do in Cuba because there's nothing better to do. Right. We all know the stories, right? Even from those of us that either were born there, weren't raised there, fortunately, or were born in Miami. We all have heard the stories of what there is to do in Cuba. All there is to do in Cuba is party, drink, do drugs,
drink, dance, and fuck, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's nothing better to do. Now, in some capacities, that sounds like a fucking Eden. But when you see those people around you starving to death, having a hard time to provide for you and your good times, if you get what I mean, there's just the struggle of the life over there. Right. Just la pobreza, you know what I mean? That there
makes
is
you do things.
Makes you do things, right? So it's we've all heard those stories, and they want to bring that kind of mentality, that kind of lazy ass mentality,
right,
where they mooch off the system,
right,
over here. Now, mind you, that already does exist without immigrants in this country. There is Americans,
correct,
of different race, color, and types,
yeah,
that do that shit. With that. Okay, we've met some in Gainesville, we've met some in Miami. We know people that do that shit,
right?
But Hispanics don't need to add more to their plate for fucking gringos to look at us and be like,
that's the whole thing. We already get a bad rap because we're not them, and then this shit comes out. And it just make you look like crap.
Look at this other comedian.
And what do you have, bro?
Me estoy enfermando los nervios aquí, hacer. Me estoy enfermando los nervios. No puedo con esto, Cero. ¿Verdad que no? Demasiado estrés. Si yo sabes que yo me esté así. No. Olvídate de eso, Cero. Olvídate. No, estás loco. No aguanto esto, Cero. Me estoy enfermando los nervios, mano. Me estoy enfermando los nervios. No aguanto esto. No puedo con esto. Demasiado, Willy. Demasiado, Willy, men. Es el carro, la letra del carro, el seguro, la póliza. Mi hermano, no me pinga. Estás loco. Allá no paga ni luz. Allá no paga ni luz. Me la pasaba picando cigarros, tomando un trago en cualquier lado. Esto es de pinga. Esto no es vida, men. Esto no es vida. Es el teléfono, el carro, la letra, la casa, la luz, el agua, el internet. Oye, a la chingada, todo va a hacer. No aguanto esto, men. Voy para Cuba, hermano. No puedo.
Listen, in a way, that just makes us look like such pussy ass bitches, man.
Bro, how did he get all that gold on that left hand, though, bro?
I mean, to come out and be crying like that, talking about, because life, because I have to provide, because this, because that, because I have to pay a bill, and like, dude, what kind of a fucking man is that, bro? What is this culture that is the Cuban culture from today that is bringing these types over?
Yeah, it's not the same.
What are they creating?
It's not the same. De los viejos, de la vieja guardia, the old guard was not like that.
Just the standard that we all understood growing up as being a man, and a part of being a man being Hispanic. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of taking pride in like fucking having to hustle, having to create some shit from nothing. You know what I mean? I mean, we've seen it, right? Your parents, my parents, grandparents, whatever, before La Revolucion and all that shit fucked it up for everybody. But we've all seen that hard work, that struggle.
Right.
You know what I mean? To see somebody like that complaining about paying a fucking bill.
And a young big dude, because parece un zángano. Ese tipo está grande con cojón para que esté cargando bulto de cemento on his back and shit.
I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. And then you come out and you say something like what we're saying, and and these people have the gall and the dignity to be like, because you're just a fucking hater. Oh, because you're a son of a bitch. And you're just looking around, you're like, what the fuck, dude? It's like an episode of The Twilight Zone, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
No, you're absolutely correct.
No, and to cap it off, este otro sapingo. Look at this shit.
Sigan con sus comentarios negativos que
Espérate, my bad.
No voy a trabajar, voy a seguir viviendo el gobierno, porque eso es lo que me gusta a mí. Ustedes trabajen para que reporten taxes y de ahí el gobierno que me dé dinero a mí, porque eso es lo que son ustedes, unos esclavos. Yo vine aquí al sueño americano, no va a estar trabajando 8 horas para nadie ni nada de eso. A mí lo que me gusta es comer, dormir y tomar. A ustedes trabajen, yo no. Yo no vine a este país a trabajar, yo vine hasta a ser mantenido del gobierno, a que el gobierno me pague todo. Yo llevo 8 meses sin pagar renta y no tengo intención de pagar. Yo vine a este país a vivir. A vivir, señores, no estar trabajando 8 horas para nadie ni nada de eso, no, no.
El
Trabajen
chulampón.
ustedes, que el gobierno, mira, ahora cuando yo coja mis taxes, que voy a coger alrededor de $20,000, me meto otro año más sin trabajar.
Taxes $20,000.
I,
Yo creo que son 20,000 pesos cubanos, me imagino, porque ese
listen,
tipo.
and I believe him because all these fucking people, bro, they get so much tax breaks and so much shit, and just so much. It's like, dude, it's like the system, and it's not just in this country. I've seen this happen in other countries as well. The systems are created to shit all over the people that live in the country, and those that come from the outside, dude, like they get like all the benefits in the
Right,
world.
that's what they
bro.
complain, dude. People, everybody's complaining that they get, they get the tax reliefs, they get the money, they get the phone, they get all. Well, the rest of them are starving. America, they call them Americans are starving and veterans are starving, and it's just it's a bad scene.
I don't
Dude.
wanna
Let me
go-
just say it's a bad scene. What I do like, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, is that Mark Rubio has finally spoken out and said, how is it that we have Cubans that are getting, this asylum treatment and all this stuff and getting all this money, and they're saying that they're being persecuted, yet they go to Cuba back like 4 times in a year, dude, with los gusanos llenos de medicina y de ropa and all that. So is there really persecution, or are they just using the system like what we were just talking about? And some of them are getting, by the way, turned around right on the spot and deported right away. They pull that green card off of their whatever the fuck they got, or residency, and sayonara, baby.
I remember it shocked me when I was younger. Every single person in my family who came over from Cuba, bro, if they happen to get their fucking foot on this land, they didn't leave.
Fuck no.
You know what I mean? And I used to think that it was just a matter of time that if like la abuela, el abuelo, el tío, la tía got here,
Yeah.
you knew they weren't fucking leaving. Like you just,
Right.
it was a matter of fact they weren't going.
No, the Cubans that I knew, they were like, yo no voy a pisar esa tierra hasta que ese hijo de puta se vaya, ese Fidel Castro y su maricón hermano. Bro, I remember, dude, people would have their parents fucking be dying, bro, and they wouldn't go see their mom dying because they didn't want to go back to that fucking island.
Yeah, no, I know. Jose says, yeah, he knows a couple of those. I know. It's like, and I know some people now as as a grown ass man in my 40s, right? Like
Right.
I know people now that I look and I go, you're going back? Like, wait a minute. So you're here to just work, to provide, to go back? And it's funny because they will go ahead and they'll tell you to your face like that they're like that's what they're doing. Like, like if it is just a matter of fact, like if it's just a way of life, like that's what they're gonna do.
Right.
They're gonna come, they're gonna work, they're going to provide, okay, fine, but they're going back happily. It's like they're going back to their lovely country. It's
Right.
like it's like if we're like Italian all of a sudden. It's fucking weird.
No, and you know what they do that for? Because they know that if they can walk in there with 50, 100, 100 million, $100,000, they are treated like kings out there.
Are you kidding me? $100,000 in Cuba, bro? You might as well have $1 billion.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Entonces, that's the status that they're looking for.
But sometimes they don't even get that much, bro. I mean, they what, limpian piso and this and that and the other. But when they go back over there, they're like unos magnate. You know what I mean?
Not, and they
But-
rent the cars and all the shit, and they get the girls.
But,
That's what they do it for.
yeah, but they go back now just loving it. Like it's just I don't even understand it. Like I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like I just grew up in such a way where I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Like I just can't get my head around it. I know
Right.
the internet has something to do with it. I know social media has something to do with it. Yo sé que todos estos maricones que hablan en estas plataformas, like, you know what I mean? Like making fun of everything. Like if it's a good time, have something to do with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Families in Miami, in
Right.
Florida, aiding it. Looking at them like, ay, los pobres,
Sí.
ay, no,
Claro.
Pepita,
Es verdad que
no
esto está la
puede,
calle está dura.
ay, and one is like, what the fuck, dude? Because once again, back then, that wasn't an excuse. That was like
No.
that was like an insult to people that were here in this country that finally made it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's just, and unless we say that it's just Cubans, check this shit.
Oh, we got more.
Confieso
Oh, this
que a mí no me gusta trabajar porque me da alergia. No me gusta trabajar porque a la final, al fin de mes andas pegado. No tiene pa' la cerveza, mucho menos pa' el bocado. Y tú me envidias a mí porque andamos es igual. Tú trabajas, yo no, pero a la final ninguno tenemos plata. No la pasan criticando porque yo vivo de los taxes que usted paga al mes.
Wow. He's a lyrical genius. What do we do with this guy? You know what happens with these fucking guys? That they have not met our guests to show them how to invest their money and get paid.
Listen, before we go, before before we go down that route,
All right, let's hear
this
it.
guy,
This fucking guy.
he's what? He's Venezuelan, right?
He sounds like he's
I
Venezuelan.
think he's Venezuelan. Another class act, tremendo fucking character. Hey, this guy has actually come out before stating that he has his daughter, and he gladly had his daughter because he knew he would get more money from the government
Oh, claro,
once he got her.
That's what they tell them. Have kids, have kids. The more kids you have, the more money we give you. That's the but they don't only do it with them. That's been happening.
He called for compassion for the 15-year-old recently in Times Square that shot up the fucking compassion to release him because he's a Venezuelan immigrant or whatever.
Who gives a shit? That's the guy that I think they're giving him life, right? The Mahong is it?
I don't know the details. I don't know what the latest details are. Did they end up giving him life?
I know that I think it was if it's that dude. I think they were
15-year-old.
Yeah, young cat.
Dude, once again, if these people are if they're joking around, if they're just trying to go ahead and get, views and make money, and that's another thing. That last guy we played has made like thousands, just an absurd amount of money on TikTok in particular, where he has millions of views. Esta gente salen, hablan esa mierda. And instead of you and I doing this show, we should just come out and start talking about how we should steal packages from in front of people's houses and how like we should fucking how we should fucking show how to steal at Walmart when we're doing self-checkouts and this and that, shit that everybody knows about,
right?
But like deep diving into it, you know what I mean, and show it. We'd become rich. Estamos comiendo tremenda mierda, honestly, trying to live this kind of life. You know what I mean? You trying to do your collateral interest, me trying to fucking work my regular job, trying to have this show, trying to make something. This lifestyle is para los come mierdas. You and I are two fucking come mierdas. Let's be honest.
It is what it is.
These are the people that are getting rich in today's generation, bro.
Right? I don't know. I'm too old for that. This new generation. I was born for a life that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't know what else to say. I mean, I don't want to really go off the rails and just get really grotesque because, I just don't want the show to just not make sense. If you get what I mean.
Sure.
So I'm trying to keep it polished, but it's something that really pisses me the fuck off, man.
Well, we should do another show really explaining.
Yeah, because look, before we transition to our guest, the bigger point is once again, I mentioned this before, I'll mention it again. Us growing up, those that are on the show, watching the show, that are either from that generation or from the generation that their parents, they saw their parents go through that kind of stuff, like my generation did. Like it was about hard work. It was about just the stress of it all and the payoff of it all. Just kind of built character. It built just a sense of responsibility, a sense of providing, showing what it means to provide, what it means to strive, and all this kind of stuff. And to have these kind of people nowadays coming out and just kind of saying these things, it's like a mockery of the whole system. It's like a mockery of the hard times that everybody we know, either
from every immigrant came here to work.
Every immigrant that came to this country,
Irish, yeah, all of them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even had to go through other countries to get here. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things, and that's why it pisses me off so much.
And you're right, being angry. I think what we need to really do, instead of giving them money and phones and shit, why don't we just give them a pair of working boots, a shovel, and a fucking pick? And there you go. Welcome to America, motherfucker.
Yeah, that would make too much sense, and this country ain't about making fucking sense. I'm going to read in our guest now before we take our break, because I do want to get his opinion on what he feels about this. Let me go ahead and bring this on here. Today's guest is, well, by the way, I don't know if you knew this or not.
No.
Today's guest is a hero.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, dude. He's a paramedic.
Oh, I thought he had a cape.
No, not all heroes wear a cape. You know that shit. He's a paramedic down in South Florida and moonlights as a Forex trader. For those that don't know what that means, foreign exchange. That's a trendy way of saying foreign exchange. Forex trader.
Right, you millennial.
Giving free advice to peeps on his Discord server called Smart Money Lab.
Right.
Essentially, he goes and gives free advice to people on how to invest in foreign exchange. Find his information on his Instagram page at selfmade_visionary. here to talk about how we can all become rich in the Forex game. Here is Peter Dominguez. Let's give a round of applause for Peter Dominguez. Peter, what's going on, bro? Let me switch.
What's good? What's good, boys?
What's good, brother? Oye, I'm gonna jump to our break before we get into your stuff, but before we do, let me ask you a question here on what we were talking about. How do you feel about these sapingos that we were talking about?
Bro, que se vayan todo el mundo para la pinga, bro. That bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
How do you feel about those people that are with everything?
Cafecito.
Oye, how do you feel about everything that you're trying to do? All the hard work that you're doing as a paramedic and both in trying to break in through as a forex investor, and have these people come out and just be like, just live off the system, man, just steal and this and that and the other. How does that make you feel?
Bro, there's nothing more that bothers me than all these people that come to this country, and even people that are from here, bro, that they're always talking about, oh, estoy pasmado, no tengo dinero, que esto, que lo otro. And these motherfuckers don't want to work, bro. They don't want to work. They don't want to put in the work. You know, let's be honest. You know, they want to come here and live off of welfare checks, live off of fucking food stamps and this and that, and then go back to their countries. They should fucking stay there, bro. Don't even fucking come over here in the first place. You know what I mean?
I agree.
For real, preach. Fuck that shit. There ain't nothing else I think that needs to be said, bro. I think go back to your damn country. I mean, if you have a problem here, bro, go back. But that's the problem. They don't have a problem because this country.
They don't understand, bro. They don't understand that this is the land of opportunities. Let's be honest, man. You know, there's 1,000,001 things that you could fucking do, and just people don't want to do the work. So yeah, it is what it is, bro. Stay your ass over there.
They've exploited the opportunity. Oh yeah, let's talk Forex and all that shit when we come back. I'm gonna run our promo spot. I'll be right back with you, brother.
You got it.
Enable Properties is a boutique-style real estate and property management company located right here in Gainesville, Florida. With over 2 decades of experience in both the Miami and now Gainesville markets, Enable Properties and owner Amy Cepeda have seen it all. There is nothing Amy and her team can't help you manage, buy, and or sell immediately. Enable Properties has earned a multitude of awards, including those for excellence in customer service and overall customer satisfaction. Amy has a deep passion for the Florida housing market, and that passion will get you to where you need to be. Whether it's investing in new property to expand your portfolio, or whether it's selling your current house and to cash in on that sweet, sweet equity, or maybe it's taking that equity to buy your dream home, Amy and Enable Properties have you covered. Maximize your time and maximize your profits today with Enable Properties. Amy and her team are waiting for your call today at 352-225-1163 or check out their website at enablepropertiesgnv.com. That's Amy and team at 352-225-1163 or on the web at enablepropertiesgnv.com. Enable Properties, your Gainesville real estate experts. We are back with what somebody refers to as Peter the Goat. Peter the Goat. Greatest of all time. Peter, bro, let me ask you something right off the bat here, bro. Why become a paramedic, bro?
Oh, wow. What a good question, bro. Honestly, man, I grew up with a, very loving family, very humble household. Let's be honest, bro. I was fucking broke growing up, man. My family was broke as fuck, but they always gave me everything I ever wanted, everything I ever needed. To be honest, I never missed a fucking plate of food on my table. I always had my huevo revuelto in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But growing up like that, bro, I was always, giving a lot of love. So I chose to give a lot of love to other people. And growing up, I had a couple of situations where I found myself having to help people, and I did it not knowing that I was going to become a paramedic, dude. One of those times I was riding a bike, I was like 12 years old, and I'll never forget it. I saw some guy fall off a little scooter, one of those little motigos. He fucking busted his head open. This guy was like 65 years old and shit. He had no helmet or anything like that. And then, yeah, man, he busted his ass, fucking bleeding out. And I'm 12 years old on a bicycle. Everybody's over here with their phones and shit, taking pictures and video and all that stuff. And I'm the only one going up to this guy talking about, hey, ¿qué pasó? And he's like, me estoy muriendo, me muero. I'm 12 years old and shit. And I'm like, oh, hey, can somebody give me a phone so I could call rescue for this guy? And yeah, man, that was one of the situations where I was like, damn, bro, I like helping people, and I didn't even know I had that in me, man. I had another situation where I was on a movie date with my girlfriend at the time and her friend and then her boyfriend, and the girl, her name was Melissa. She was we were all watching a movie, and I don't know where this girl just kind of like he kind of just like bent over, and we were like, Melissa, you okay? And she wasn't responding, and I was like, what the fuck? And we were like, oh, she probably doesn't feel good. She probably has a headache or some shit like that or whatever. Before you know it, Melissa collapsed on the floor, and we were freaking the fuck out. We were like, oh, what the fuck? We pulled her out. Not to mention she was a hefty girl, man. We pulled her out. We laid her down. And before I did anything, I called her mom and I was like, oh, hey, your daughter's passed the fuck out. She's not even responding right now. And I called rescue. And she was like, yeah, go ahead immediately. And then, boom, I called rescue. Within 5 minutes, rescue was there. And then, yeah, man, that was the second time where I was like, shit.
You got that touch for being involved in helping people out, man. It's just kind of like a second nature kind of thing. What was the craziest thing, or what has been so far the craziest thing you've seen as a paramedic?
Oh man, too much to tell. But if you want to get gruesome and shit, like the other day I was at Walmart with my partner, and some fucking dude just came up to us, knocked on the window. He's like, yo, I just got shot in my hand. I was like, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah, bro, the guy's fucking hand was like mush and shit. It was like his fucking organs were coming out and shit through his hand. And yeah, I freaked out. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That was the first time that I had it like just like that. And the first thing I thought about obviously was my kids. I got 2 kids and a wife. And I was like, I'm not about to get shot, you know. So one of the things that they teach us in paramedic school is scene secure, which is pretty much like before you do anything, like the first thing you got to do is make sure your scene is secure and that you're safe before anybody else is safe. You know what I mean? So what I did was I was like looking out the window for a couple minutes, hoping that no fucking gunman was coming over here about to shoot my ass too. And then I was like, oh, hey, get your ass in the back of the truck. I got him in the back of the truck. I started wrapping up his hand. That shit looked disgusting. I had never seen that before like that. Like literally, it looked like un fucking picadillo. Wow. But yeah, man, I called rescue. They were there within 5 minutes. But other than that, man, you know, like regular cardiac problems, abuela with a stub toe, fucking, you know, hypertension. We all have that shit. If we're Cuban, we all have high blood pressure. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. No atrial fibrillation, cardiac arrhythmias, all that shit. I do all that shit on a daily basis. So, bro, like, been doing this shit for 9 years now, man.
Yeah, man. I used to work for AMR, dude, and I used to see the craziest shit. Then
there you go.
These guys. There you go. Well, for what company do you work for? What
Miami Dade Ambulance, bro.
Oh, so you work for the Miami Dade guys. So what that used to do is when the Miami Dade guys had a call and they found that it wasn't like life threatening or nothing, and they just needed a cruise, they would call AMR, and we would have to take them there and take them to Jackson or whatever hospital was closest.
Oh shit, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah, dude, I used to do that. And I had seen a couple of things myself, man. I remember there was a gang fight and stuff, dude. Aquí le metí un batazo al tipo en la cara, bro. And then we got there, dude. We got there. All the teeth where somebody had picked up all his teeth and put it like in a little Ziploc bag.
Holy shit.
We're like, okay, you guys were like, no. We got another call. You know, and we grabbed the guy, we took him, and then we bagged the call and shit. We hung out for a while.
Oh shit.
Let's get to the matter at hand here, which is forex trading, right? Which is what Peter is doing. That really he foresees his future in, right? Which we certainly believe in Peter here, and he has a lot of experience in this. Peter, why didn't we all invest in Bitcoin, and why the fuck are we just not all rich right now and not having a conversation with you, bro? Why didn't people not invest in Bitcoin back in the day? You know, we know that there are people that did, but dude, how many rich people? Why did people miss the boat on Bitcoin?
So first and foremost, forex trading and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are 2 different asset classes.
Oh, okay.
So we're talking about crypto. You're talking about cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the original cryptocurrency that was ever released back in like, damn, bro, correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody in the audience, like 2009 or some shit like that. That was the first cryptocurrency that was ever created. And to be quite frank with you, bro, the reason why people never invested back then and still don't invest to this day is because they're scared. They got some shit called fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We like to refer to it as FUD. But a lot of people, let's just say a lot of people talk shit about it, more than likely because it's not regulated by the government yet. Cryptocurrency is just one of those things where people see it as gambling. But if you do enough studying and, you know, enough research, like myself, which I did for a fucking very long time, but that's for another conversation. Anyway, yeah, man, if you do your research and you know how to properly invest, it's very possible to not only make a living off of trading, which you can trade that as well. You can also trade cryptocurrencies, but you can also become financially free, which is probably the topic of conversation tonight.
So why did you decide to invest in or start your life, I guess, as an investor in forex trading versus, let's say, stocks or options? What got you into the forex market in the first place? Why did you choose that as an area of specialty?
So it's kind of funny you mentioned that, because the first thing that I ever did was cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
A lot of my friends back in the day, one of my closest friends, as a matter of fact, was investing into some cryptocurrency called Ethereum. And he was just talking about it all day, every day. And I heard a lot of people talking about it. And just like you guys, and maybe a lot of people out there, they hear about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and they're just like, nah, fuck that. Like, I'm not gonna get into that shit. And it was the same thing with me. Like, I saw a couple of my buddies into that shit. One of my buddies that had good enough capital to invest at the time, I was like, nah, bro, I'm not getting into that shit. And then a couple months later, he shows me his account. He's like, hey, Pete, I just made 20 bands. I was like, what?
Wow.
And he cashed it out. He showed me the transaction and everything, sent it to his bank. And then at that point, I was like, oh, hell no, we got to get into this shit. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, even after that, I was still very stagnant for a while. It just so happened that I ended up working. I'm a paramedic, like I said, and I ended up working with some guy who had an account with the stock market. He had a Robinhood account, and he showed me his account, and he had 24K in his account. And I was like, bro, how? Like, how do you do this? And he's like, yo, honestly, dude, I invested $5,000 of my own money. I buy stocks when they're low and I sell them when they're high. And I don't know what the fuck I was thinking at the time, but it was one of those episodes in your life where you're playing video games and you have nothing better to do, and you're just sitting in an ambulance waiting for life to pass you by. And yeah, man, I was, let's be honest, I was fucking spending a lot of money on pixels. I was just like investing money on a little video game that was not going to get me anywhere. And I don't know why, to be honest, but something clicked. And I was like, you know what, bro? Instead of spending my fucking hard-earned money on pixels, I'm going to start putting my money to work for me. And yeah, man, that's what started my whole investing journey. We're in 2024. I had to have been like in 2020 when it finally clicked. And that's how everything started.
But why did you choose forex versus like stocks?
Okay, so the stock market, like I said before, it's a completely different asset class. There's many different things that you can invest in. Okay, you can invest in the stock market, you can invest in cryptocurrency, you can invest in forex, you can invest in real estate. Why did I do it? Well, realistically, I did it because it was the hype thing around at the time. Cryptocurrency was popping off when I was 26, going on like 27. It was popping off. All my friends were doing it. And I had a little bit of experience with the stock market. When you first open up your account with Robinhood, they give you like a free stock. Cool, whatever, boom. What is a stock? Well, for anybody that doesn't know, a stock is a partial ownership of a company. Believe it or not, when you hear that shit, you're like, holy shit, I want to be a partial owner of Tesla. You can do that if you want to. You can buy a fractional share if you don't have the capital. And that's another thing that people are scared of. They don't know how much money to invest. They don't know where to start. Like, that's the problem with most people. They don't know how to start. But yeah, you can technically buy a fractional share of any company, depending on your capital and how much money you have to invest. And then, believe it or not, after you've invested your money, depending on certain factors like fundamentals, like for example, like what's going on with Tesla right now, like, is fucking Elon Musk coming out with a robotic dick or whatever. If somebody likes that idea, they're going to invest into Tesla. And if it gets enough traction over time, if it increases the demand of the company, people end up buying the stock more so than not. So what happens is now we're going back to supply and demand. So depending on how much demand a certain asset has, that drives up the price naturally. So if a lot of people are buying something, it naturally increases the demand and it increases the price. So if you bought one share of Tesla, to give you an example, at $100, and then Elon Musk comes out with his brand new robot that could fucking shoot guns and do some crazy shit and run 5 miles per hour, which he just did. He just did that. So this is a fact. You guys can look it up. It's called the Tesla robot. He just dropped that. But if it does increase enough demand in the stock or in the company, it'll naturally drive up your shares or however much ownership or percentage you have in the company. And that's how people actually make a living off of trading stocks and shit like that. I
But
don't know if
when
I went a little bit. I don't know if I went a little bit into the loophole, like a little too far
no,
deep
no,
into the
hey,
loophole.
hey, hey, it's all right, man. You're passionate about what you do and what you're talking about. Um, when you say that people don't understand how much they need to get started, how much they need to start to get into this, what do you recommend somebody who is a complete newbie that doesn't know about trading stocks, about trading forex? In general, how much would you recommend that they would need and what they need to do to get started?
So I'm in no way, shape, or form a financial advisor, but
Yeah,
I
I guess
could definitely,
just
but I
from
could,
your perspective, right? What
yeah.
would you recommend a buddy of yours?
So that's subjective. I could give you a number, but that is subjective depending on how much money you make and how much money you have to spend. So it really all comes down to never investing more money than you're willing to lose. So as a rule of thumb, to be honest, let's say that you make, just to give you an example, like every 2 weeks you make $1,000. Okay, you would never want to risk more than 10% of your portfolio. So if you have $1,000, don't risk more than $100. Don't ever risk more money, or don't ever risk enough money that could put you in a financial jeopardy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
10% out of 100% is literally nothing. It's 1/10 of however much money you have. So as a rule of thumb, like I said, if you have $1,000, feel free to invest $100. Now, don't just invest into anything. You have to invest into something that, number one, you've done your due diligence. You've sat there for hours investing. Number two, I'm sorry, studying. Number two, it has to be something that has a high potential to give you good returns. Like, why would you invest into something that nobody knows about, or a company that nobody's talking about? Now, that could also go both ways, because a lot of millionaires are made when they buy shares of a stock that nobody even wants.
Right.
So when something is super cheap, people are actually scared to buy it. That's the funny part, because they're like, oh, why the fuck would I buy into this? Nobody's buying this right now. Why am I gonna waste my money? Well, guess what? The people that actually do invest when a stock is on the ground, especially if they've done their due diligence and they see potential in the company, those are the people that are able to get thousands and thousands of shares at a really cheap price before the company actually does something that's going to drive up the price heavily. For example, just to give you an example, the cannabis industry. You know, right now people are scared of cannabis because shit, there's so much negative, like negative talk about cannabis and all this and that. But the people that truly believe in it are going to invest at low prices before this shit actually takes off, before Biden approves it, before all these motherfuckers in the government actually say, hey, cannabis is actually not as bad as you guys thought it was. And then all these companies start fucking taking off. And the people who believed in it since the get are the ones that become rich or financially free off of these companies.
We lost Abel in the interim here. He's rebooting his thing here.
It's all good.
Once
It's all
again, I
good.
mentioned before, live shows have their thing, right? So, yeah, but in reality, the way people see it, I know this for the most part. I've spoken to a lot of conservative people. I myself, like I mentioned to you before, Peter, I've done day trading, swing trading, and things like that before.
Yeah.
I've never gone into forex, but I definitely have been in the stock market before myself, so I
Yeah.
understand a lot of the technicals.
Yeah.
But those that don't understand, there's a lot of people that are scared, like you mentioned, to lose money, that don't want to, risk what the little bit of pennies that they've conjured up for themselves, right?
Right.
What in this case, right? What would be, as an example, the biggest loss you've ever had, and what would you do differently if you had a chance to go back and do something different with that?
So, bro, believe it or not, man, I've taken quite some losses, and for those that don't know, like the people that take the most losses are actually the ones that make it, that actually make it in the future, because they're so used to taking the losses that another loss is just another loss. It doesn't matter anymore, you know. But to answer your question, man, I got into some shit called NFTs, um, which are non-fungible tokens, and non-fungible tokens. This was like almost 3 years ago. Non-fungible tokens are another type of asset class, but it's something also very new that people don't know about and they don't believe in it. So why the hell would they even invest in it? But
Yeah.
I want to say that I took my biggest loss in NFTs. NFTs. to make it very simple, is a form of digital art. So let's say fucking I don't know, let's say Donald Trump releases his own NFT. Just because Donald Trump drops his first NFT, people are gonna want to buy it, like just because it's Donald Trump. So the thing about NFTs is that there's a certain supply and there's a demand. By the way, supply and demand is what drives price. Um, Demand is how much do people want it. Supply, there's a certain number of that asset that was created and you cannot duplicate it. So yeah, that's what drives price. But I got into this project called Bored Mummy Waking Up. It was after the original Bored Apes came out. And like I said, I'm talking NFTs now, so you guys might not know about it. A lot of people might not know about it. But the Bored Apes were one of the first projects that ever came out that even Justin Bieber invested into this shit. It was pretty much a face of a monkey. An NFT is like literally a picture. It's like a JPEG image that you buy and you have digital.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm not gonna lie. The NFT shit, like I said, I've traded stocks. I know about all those things. I know about everything you're talking about. The NFTs is the one thing that I've just never fucking understood.
Yeah, my stepsister does a Miami Ape. I think she's either one of the reps or has helped build all that bullshit because she's all over the place. And
so check this.
I would appreciate it if you just walked me a little bit from like a dumb level as to how the hell that works.
So an NFT, okay, so look at this right here. Look at this fucking cafetera, right?
Right.
Anything that you have around your house, any watch, any phone that you have, any chain that you have, it's an asset. Okay, an asset is something that holds value, right? An asset is also something that you could potentially sell for money, whether it's instant liquidity, whether you could sell it instantly, or whether you could put it up on the market and put it up for sale and somebody will buy it a couple days later. So that's what an asset is. An NFT is a digital asset. So it's pretty much literally it looks like a screenshot. It's literally a picture of something. In this case, it was a fucking picture of a monkey. I wish you could look up the Bored Apes and maybe show it on screen or something, just for people to have an idea of what the Bored Apes are. But you can literally buy it, and then you buy it with cryptocurrency. You can't just buy it with US dollars. You have to buy it with cryptocurrency, and it has real value to it. So at the time, bro, the Bored Apes were going for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So they were one of the hottest projects that came out, and one of the originating projects that dropped, and they were super hot at the time. So these motherfuckers were spending millions of dollars on one picture, bro. It's literally a screenshot there you go. Those are the Bored Apes. It's actually called the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So the name itself gave you, it made you want to feel like you're jumping into an elite group, okay? By owning one of the Bored Apes, not to mention that they all have different traits. So they're not all the same. They're all different. One of these has a laser eye. One of these has a fucking dick that he's jerking off. The other one has a fedora or some crazy hat, and they all have different traits which increase or decrease their rarity depending on the trait. So let's say you got one with gold teeth, and the gold teeth was a super rare trait. Bro, you were paying top dollar for this Bored Ape that had gold teeth.
But does that provide some kind of trademark like protection? What if somebody else just comes out with that?
So the thing about it is that NFTs, they're minted on something called a blockchain. What minting is kind of like creating. So you're creating something and you're legitimatizing it on a blockchain. A blockchain is nothing more than a network that is an open network, which anybody can pretty much see. So anybody can see the transactions that are happening on that network. So you can't duplicate it. So for example, let's say that I drop a project, right? I drop a project and it's called the Bored Apes or whatever. It's going to be grounded on that network to the point where anybody can see it and it cannot be duplicated. Okay. And honestly, it's much more than just having a screenshot. Like, you can't just send it to anybody. It's encrypted in a certain file, okay, that you could only own it if you paid for it through that blockchain, through that network. So again, it's a lot of technicality. It's super technical, but to break it down for Joe Schmoes, like people that don't know about it, it's literally a fucking digital picture that you can store on a digital wallet on your phone, okay, and it goes up and down in value depending on supply and demand. Okay, so depending at this time, depending on how much hype was created around these bored apes, was pretty much the value that was being added to these pieces, these digital assets. And the best part about it is that, let's say you live in fucking Gainesville, okay, and you like my bored ape, and I have a bored ape that you can't get anywhere else because I'm the only one that has it, and they're all unique. So if I have one that you want, you got to buy it off of me. But the best part about it is that you could buy it off of me through the network. So if I put it up for sale on my phone, all it takes for you is to click the buy button, and it automatically sends it to you, and now you're the owner of it. And I got paid out in crypto.
I could honestly feel. Hold on, let me switch here. Okay,
Our
Abel's
age,
back, by the way.
our age.
I could honestly feel. I'm understanding. I understand what he means, but because I could imagine it. There's a lot of imagination in this whole
Yeah.
thing. I think in general.
Yeah.
But I could honestly feel those 50 and 60-year-old people's heads exploding, dude.
Let's just say that that's where I
Like,
lost the most money. I lost the most money because I invested into a hype, pretty much into a hype that eventually we got rug pulled. So we were in a Discord community. It was, bro, legit like 15,000 people inside the community, and the guy that created the project, he pretty much sold his shit, made millions of dollars, and took off.
Oh, is that
He
the
took
dude that
off.
got arrested, right? The guy with the
No, no,
white
no. This
hair.
has nothing to do. No, this has nothing to do with that. This is a whole other project, bro.
Oh,
These
shit.
scams are happening all over the
Oh,
world.
that's why
Literally.
you have a Cuban old guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna invest in that, bro. That's
Fuck
like
that.
gambling."
Fuck that. Yeah, man, that's where I lost the most money. But to get into to talk a little bit about forex, guys. Forex is kind of different because forex is not necessarily investing, even though you do invest a portion of your money. I don't like to call forex investing because when you talk about investing, you're talking more so like long term, like to the general consensus. When you talk about investing, you're talking about buying Tesla stocks, waiting a year, for the price to go up, and then you sell it at a profit. When you talk about forex, you're talking about day trading. So day trading and investing are kind of two different things, because when you day trade, um, we're not really getting into how you do it, but when you day trade, you're pretty much getting into a position, okay, at a certain price, and then you're exiting at another price in profit, hopefully, or at a loss within hours or minutes to a couple days. So when you trade forex, there's different types of traders. There's different types of traders. I'll start with the scalper. The scalper is somebody who enters a position, let's just say Monday morning at 9 in the morning, and gets out of that position within 30 minutes to an hour. So a scalper is somebody who doesn't really hold their trade for too long. And the same way you can make $1,000 in 30 minutes, you can lose $1,000 in 30 minutes if you don't know what you're doing. Then you have your intraday trader, who is the person who gets in the morning, and then they hold their position for a couple hours. So I don't know, 5-6 hours, and they're getting out of their trade by 6 p.m. that same day. So they held their trade for maybe close to 10 to 12 hours, and they make profit like that. And then you have your swing traders, who are people that buy into the market or sell into the market on a Monday, and then they get out on Friday, just to give you an example. So swing traders are people who hold their positions for more than just a day or two, and then you can make profit like that.
So when you start trading like that, do they know what type of trader you are when you buy stocks, or is that just something that is the norm? Like the norm?
So the stock market is one market, and then the cryptocurrency is another market, and then the forex market is another market. As a matter of fact, the forex market is actually one of the biggest markets in the world. I forgot what the market cap is. The market cap is the total amount of money that's invested in and out of that market every day. Um, but yeah, the forex market is one of the biggest markets in the world, and
Yeah, forex
it's
basically able is like you're comparing the price of the euro versus the dollar.
correct.
And that difference, right? That difference in price has an upswing, has a downswing. The dollar goes up, the dollar goes down, this and that and the other, blah blah blah, yada yada. And you kind of trade it like you're trading a stock. I mean, it has the same kind of behavior. It has like the candles and this and that and the other. It has the same kind of, when you're looking at it in charts, when you're looking at stock charts, it behaves the same way. It's just kind of like, it's like you're picking your poison. You're specializing more in just trading foreign exchange. You're dedicating yourself to trading that kind of market rather than trading the stock market. I mean, and
Yeah,
also the
exactly.
foreign exchange market, correct me if I'm wrong, Peter, the foreign exchange market, I don't think closes, right? The stock market, I think, closes at 4 p.m. The foreign exchange market does not close.
It actually does. It actually does close, but it's open a lot longer than the stock market. The stock market opens at 9:30 in the morning, and it closes at around 4:30 p.m. The forex market is open Monday through Friday, and then it closes on Friday at 5 p.m. and opens again on Sunday at 5 p.m. So you have a lot more time where you can trade forex. But
It's the digital coin market, the one that doesn't close. Bitcoin and stuff doesn't close.
cryptocurrency does not close. Yeah.
Cryptocurrency.
But yeah, bro, to elaborate on what you were saying, um, the forex market is foreign exchange. For those who don't know, the foreign exchange has to do with all the real, like actual currencies around the world. To give you an example, the US dollar, the Great British pound, the European dollar, the Canadian dollar. Those are all currencies, like actual currencies from different countries. And pretty much every currency, depending on a lot of factors, the biggest factor being the fundamentals of the country. For example, like just to give you an example, let's say that Russia throws a fucking missile at the United States on some crazy shit. Nobody's gonna want the Russian dollar, so the Russian dollar is gonna start crashing. Okay, so a lot of the currencies they fluctuate depending on what's going on with the countries. Like obviously nobody wants the Cuban peso, so that's not even, that fucking shit is not even on the, I've never seen it on the foreign exchange market.
So let me ask you a question, Peter, and maybe that's not either here or there. So, what do you think about this whole that you know how the that they don't want to use the dollar anymore, and there's like a group of people like the BRICS, you know, that everybody's getting together with the oil, and they're just trying to eliminate the dollar in its you know in all its entirety.
All right, so check this out. The dollar, if you guys do not know, yes, cash is still king and cash will remain king for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But the US dollar has lost an exponential amount of buying power over the last couple of years because of the supply. You guys got to understand, supply is super, super important. What do I mean by that? You guys remember when we all started getting those fucking stimulus checks a couple of years back?
Yep.
Okay. How do you think that the government gave you those stimulus checks? They printed dollars out of thin air, dollars that we don't have. Our country is already in severe, severe, severe debt. You know, how do you think we're just pulling all this money out of our ass? Like they gave, what was it, like $1,400 per American? Bro, you know how much money they had to print out of thin air
Yeah, because
to
it's
be
not
able
backed,
to, huh?
yeah, because it's not backed by gold anymore.
Yeah, but that's not exactly, it's not backed by gold, but that's not even the problem. The problem is how many dollars do you think that they had to create out of thin air to give you and your mother and abuela and all these motherfuckers $1,400 out of their ass? Bro, it was somewhere around like $5 trillion. I might be a little bit off, but it was somewhere in the trillions. And how many stimulus checks did we get? We got like 3 of them, bro. So every single time that they gave you guys a stimulus check or anybody a stimulus check, they were printing trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars out of thin air. Now you might be asking yourself, what the fuck does that even matter? Like, what is that doing? Like, how does that affect me? Well, it affects you because when you add so much money into the already circulating supply, what you're doing is you're diluting the dollar. So you're actually lowering the buying power of the dollar. So I hate to say this, bro, and a lot of people might hate on this shit for me to say this, but your dollars are actually losing value by sitting in your bank account. If you have a large savings account, bro, you're actually fucking up because the dollar, the US dollar specifically, is losing so much buying power every single day. That's actually called inflation for people that don't know. Inflation is when well, people like the normal people see inflation as prices rising. So have you guys ever gone to the gas station and you look at the gas and you're like, holy shit, that's expensive?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, what if I told you that it's not the gas, the price of the gas going up, but it's the value of your dollars going down?
Right.
So you actually need more dollars to acquire the same amount of gas.
Right.
The same fucking 5 gallons that you wanted. You just need more dollars because the dollar is valued at a lower price now. And they don't tell you that, bro. They don't teach you that shit in school, bro. They really don't.
Venga, y entonces, and all this money that we're giving to Ukraine and all that shit, how does that affect us? Because I mean, that all comes from the same coffers, don't it?
That's just putting us in debt, bro.
That's giving
That's
us
just putting
more
us in debt, bro. I mean, I'm not a fucking war guy. I'm not a financial analyst, to be honest with you. I'm just a normal guy, bro. But to me, they're just putting us in more debt for what they need at the moment. Just like the stimulus check, they needed to give us that money, and they just pulled it out of their fucking ass.
Yeah, just
You
to
know,
kind
but
of they said that it was masked under kind of moving the economy because everybody was stuck in the house. So everybody went and I remember at least here in Gainesville, bro, when people got the checks, the first thing they did was go to fucking Walmart and buy the flat screen TVs and get rims on the car and get the base and get the bullshit.
That's what I did when I got my financial aid money from Miami-Dade College.
You know what I mean? Entonces, yo creo que es una come pinguería, bro. Okay?
so let me top that off with one thing. For those motherfuckers that went and bought the flat screen TV, what you should have done is invested your fucking money properly, okay? So you can stop saying that you're fucking pasmao que tú estás pinga.
Word.
Yeah.
Let me run through a scenario here for those that maybe are curious into getting into forex trading, especially with our guest Peter Dominguez.
Yo me voy a poner a
Um,
limpiar.
Ponte a limpiar ahí.
Dale, Guadalupe. Oye, if I were to take, let's say, $10,000, $10,000 might be too much. I mean, not the regular schmo has $10,000. Let's say $1,000, and I were to get into forex trading, and I were to work, with the great Peter Dominguez, in a forex trader. In 6 months, with your guidance, what does my $1,000 look like?
So here's something that you have to understand about forex, the forex exchange market. To be 100% frank with you, I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you, bro.
Thank you.
Forex is a skill that you need to acquire. Okay, that's why it's different from investing, because I could tell you right now, oh yeah, go buy fucking Dogecoin, okay, and you could put those $1,000 in Dogecoin, and a year from now, your $1,000 might turn into fucking $100,000. That's true. It could potentially happen. So that's why investing and forex trading are different, because it's kind of sad, but it's a great fucking thing. Forex trading is actually a skill that you have to acquire, comparable to cooking, comparable to any other skill that you could potentially acquire. It's a personal growth thing. Why? Because forex trading has a lot to do with technical analysis. Technical analysis is reading the market. You have to learn how to read the market. The reason why I would never take your $1,000 and tell you that in 6 months it's going to grow is because forex trading is something that has to do with you. You're the owner of your skill set, and you're the only one that could actually make it happen if you put in the time and the work.
Right.
Yeah, man. So it's one of those things. So for me personally, I'm going to give you a little bit about myself. I've been trading forex for 2 years straight. I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit of a setback. I got hired in the fire department like last year, and I had to stop what I was doing. So I took like a 3 or 4 month break. But
Son of a bitch.
now I'm back. Now I'm back into this shit. So I lost some time there. But forex is one of those things where you have to ask yourself: would you rather bust your ass for the next 5 years learning a skill that can set you financially free, or would you rather work for somebody until the age of 65, where they tell you, hey, you're gonna retire with $1 million, but when you get that $1 million, you're gonna be a fucking in a wheelchair full of heart problems, and you might die 5 years later. That's the mindset that I'm pursuing, and that I've had drilled in my head, and I'm not gonna stop no matter what anybody says. Like I'm sick of the antiquated mindsets of the people that don't believe. And guess what, bro? We got one life. Why the fuck am I gonna settle for less? You know what I mean?
Right.
I could die the day tomorrow, God forbid, but why am I not gonna try something new, especially if we got it on the tips of our fingers, bro? That's actually one of the things that I wanted to elaborate on, because we have something that our ancestors didn't have. We have something that our parents, let's be honest, they didn't have a phone. I could literally, if I have the skill set, if I'm good enough, I could literally, bro, God forbid the day of tomorrow I go homeless. All I need is a phone and McDonald's Wi-Fi, and I click a couple buttons and I get rich. Okay, obviously it's easier said than done, because you need to study this shit for years on end. Okay, but once you have the skill set, it's something that nobody can take away from you, compared to, like, for example, a license. Maybe you have a professional license and you did some stupid shit at work and then they fired you and you lost your license. Now what? Are you going to go back to school for another 4 years?
Right.
No. So that's the great thing about forex trading, that, like I said, I'm going to keep saying this shit. It's a skill that you acquire. And once you acquire the skill, once you become good enough, there's nobody that could take that skill away from you. And it's something that could set you financially free, bro.
How do your Cuban parents feel about the forex trading stuff? Do they think that their son is throwing their money away, or do they think you're a genius?
It's a good question, broski.
Look, to be honest, man, I don't like to sound cocky or anything, but my parents have always believed in me. And luckily, my wife and the people around me support me. You know, a lot of people are gonna talk shit. People that are watching this are probably thinking that I'm a fucking goma pinga. I really don't give a fuck, bro. To be honest, I really don't care. I really don't care, because it's my life and
Hey,
nobody pays my
I
fucking.
didn't say that shit, bro. I brought you on the show.
No, I'm saying the people in the audience, bro. But nobody pays my fucking bills, bro. So nobody can tell me what it is that I am or not doing. You know, at the end of the day, I love people that comment quite often, and people that are negative Nazis and stuff like that, because believe it or not, those are the people that give me the biggest drive at the end of the day. The people that don't believe in me, because I know that one day I'm going to prove them all wrong, bro, and I'm going to be laughing in their fucking faces. And another thing, the people that also don't believe, you know, the people that don't believe are the same ones that are going to be kicking themselves in the foot 5 years later when I pull up in the McLaren, that they could have had, but they chose to not believe in me or in the technology that we have available to us today, which is right here.
Bro, I live in the country now, bro. I want a really badass decked out 2500, bro. You can keep your fucking McLaren, bro.
Yeah, bro. You can get whatever you want, man. That's the thing, bro. You can get whatever you fucking want, as long as you believe in yourself. You know, as long as you believe in yourself and you don't fall into the negativity of other people. You know, there's gonna be that's the thing, bro. The journey of becoming an entrepreneur and becoming a trader or a self-made, bro. You know, self-made. That's the hardest shit that anybody could ever do. Anybody that owns a business, anybody that's trying to be successful on their own, they know what I'm talking about, bro. It's hard as fuck to break out of the system, bro. And that's why most people don't do it, because the system, Andy, I think I told you about this. The system is made to keep you locked in. It's made for the 9-to-5 workers to continue being 9-to-5 workers. We need the fucking lady at the dollar store, okay? Right. We need the lady at the public supermarket to help you find whatever you're looking for. We need those 9-to-5 workers. But that's it. I hate to say it, but that's a system that was created by humans, okay? And it's an antiquated system. We're actually finding ways to break out of that system. A lot of people are not going to want to hear this shit. A lot of people don't want to believe it. But 9-to-5s are going out the window, bro. We have too many young people right now that are multimillionaires at the age of 20 because they clicked a couple buttons on their fucking phone. What makes you think that they're going to want to go lay bricks, bro?
Yeah. I'm honestly, I honestly, one of the biggest.
Those guys want to go back to Cuba.
Yeah,
they need to go back to fucking Cuba. They need to go back to Cuba.
One of the biggest things that I'm anxious about in my life in the future is just seeing what the next 20 years brings, bro. Like what like the 15-year-olds of today are going to be providing for the older folk in the future. I want to see what that looks like.
So that's one thing that I want to say, that because it's my biggest drive. Now that I'm on the show, man, I want to say I appreciate you guys for having me on here. And my biggest drive, the thing that's pushing me the most right now, is number one, my family. Obviously, God comes first, but my family is the biggest reason why I'm doing this, because I want to set my family free in a way that people don't do on an average basis. You know, coming from a family that have busted their ass all their fucking life. My dad is 62 years old and he still works for a security guard company, and I love him to death, but he's been busting his ass for years on end, you know, for chump change, you know. And I hate to say it, you know, we have technology on our hands. So the biggest thing besides what I just said is financial freedom. It's one thing that it's very hard to acquire, but it's one thing that people oversee. The people that talk to me and the people that see me expressing myself and this and that, and anybody that sees somebody that wants to be rich, all they see is that you want the money, you want the cars, you want the jewelry, you want this, you want that. But guess what, guys? I'm not here for the money. I'm not here. Money was something that was created. Money's an item. I'm not here for the money. I'm here for the freedom that comes with money. Okay. When you have a lot of money, you're able to do whatever the fuck you want, and you don't have to ask anybody for permission. Okay. I want to enjoy the things that God put on this earth, which is the world. Okay. And without having to ask my boss if I can go on a vacation tomorrow. I want to be able to grab my shit, grab my 2 little girls and my wife, and get the fuck out of here if I wanted to. Okay. And that's what financial freedom brings. It brings you the ability and the time that you never get back. All these hard worked hours that we put in on a daily basis at work, these 10-hour shifts, these 12-hour shifts. I'm a paramedic. I work 12-hour shifts and I always get a late call. So I end up working 13 and 14 hours. These are hours that you never get back. Okay. I wake up, my daughters are sleeping. I get home, my daughters are sleeping. I don't see my daughters from Monday through Friday. I see them on Saturday and Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
Time is the biggest thing that we never get back. And it's also the biggest thing that we underappreciate. And
Yeah, and time
I'm
fucking
just,
flies.
you never get your time back, bro. You never get your time back. So that's what I'm trying to acquire, man. I'm trying to acquire my time back.
Peter, speaking of time, yeah, I think we're coming up on an hour and 15 minutes.
I think we're-
I think we may wrap up soon, bro. Oh yeah, you've been a great guest, man. I really
Yep.
appreciate all the information, all the Forex information and everything. It's been very insightful, man, to be honest with you.
Anytime, guys.
As far as any last words or anything you want to say as far as people reaching out to you and stuff, go ahead and the floor is yours as far as people reaching out to you, man.
I took it upon myself to help others, whether they like me or not. I'm here to help people realize that there's a lot more than just going to college for 4 years, fucking working at Taco Bell, you know what I mean? Working your average 9 to 5. You could, if you put in the work and if you choose to, you could become successful on your own. You could become an entrepreneur. I'm on the way to becoming an entrepreneur. I'm not going to lie to you guys and sit here and say I'm fully successful yet, but I know that I'm going to get there because the biggest factor is the amount of work that you put in on a daily basis. Okay. One of the biggest reasons why people don't become successful is because they don't put in action. They don't put in the work. So anybody that finds this conversation interesting and wants to reach out, make sure you reach out to me. Selfmade_visionary. For anybody that wants to DM me, my DMs are always open, and I'm always willing to help anybody. Like Andy said earlier, I have a free Discord for anybody that's willing to learn how to trade. But again, that's something that you're gonna have to put in the work. I could take you to the water, but I'm not gonna feed you the water. You're gonna have to fucking learn yourself. And if you want to be a bitch and not fucking learn, then you're not gonna learn. You're gonna sit your ass right there and keep doing what you've been doing, bro.
Word up. I love that shit, bro. That's real as hell, man. You can't say it any other way. Let's give a round of applause to Peter Dominguez, man. Yes, sir, brother. Oh, yeah.
Cheers, boys.
Like I said, bro, it's been a blast. Very informational, man. Thanks for keeping it real. Thanks for taking the little bit of that cafecito that was left. I appreciate that. All right, brother. We'll see you around. So let me say this once again before we sign off here. At selfmade_visionary. That's where you could find Peter. Or Smart Money Lab. That's the Discord server. If you're looking to find him on Discord, you could go ahead and do that at selfmade_visionary. Peter Dominguez, brother, thanks so much for being on. We appreciate you, man.
Gracias.
Another
Boys, man.
round of applause for Peter, man.
Much love, boys.
All right, brother. All righty, man. So that was Peter Dominguez
All right, man.
doing his thing with the Forex trading. Oh, yeah, that foreign exchange trading thing, man, is a science all unto its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, Peter, Peter's right.
I thought he was gonna hook me up with a trading for dummies kind of thing.
Listen, Peter. No, to be honest with you, to be fully honest with you, there's no way around that.
Yeah, so I can bet there's a little because
that's one of those things that you walk in completely clueless and you're like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
And then a year from now, you look back and you go, bro, remember when I didn't even understand any of this stuff? That is literally one of those worlds. There's no way around it, man. There really isn't.
You either dive in or you're screwed.
You got to dive in or you're screwed. And honestly, Peter was a little brash in the way that he was describing it in a certain way, but he is 100% real when he says that you either do it and you man the hell up and you take the losses and you take the wins and you go through the strife of it all,
right?
or you just don't even do it. Like, you know what I mean? And 100% he's right. He's very Miami in his description of it.
Right,
But
right.
he's 100% correct. He's very real in that description of that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, man. Abel, you
Dímelo.
got anything interesting coming up this week or
Nah,
anything?
people. I think this weekend I'm gonna be chilling. I think I gotta buy. I gotta make a bio. I got picked up for Tano Yoga. They're having this audition thing, and they're doing like a talent show for the kids and adults and stuff coming sometime in April. I do believe at the 24th of April, and I'm going to be one of the judges. They chose me, so I have to make up a bio. Got to talk to it's called the Second Act Production. I'm going to be kind of talking to the kids and talking to the adults, singing the comedy, singing the dancing.
I think
pretty exciting
I think your heart ticker is going to scare away the children.
You think so? Hello, precious.
Hello, little one.
Hello, little one. Tick, 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 tick. Time is fleeting.
They're going to be in a dark hallway, and the kids are going to have nightmares. They're going to be in a dark hallway. And they're
My
gonna...
God, it's Abel. Es viejo cagalitroso. How funny. No. So that's what I gotta. I mean, I'm gonna just chill out this weekend, man. I've been going to Miami for like the last 2-3 weekends, man.
Look at you, bro. You're like un magnate.
No, bro. You know what? You know why I got so excited? Actually, dude, I me pedí una perdida, bro, and I ended up in the Miami Youth Fair in the fairgrounds, and I saw all of that going over. I told Amy, "Coño, man, do you remember when we were kids? Vamos a ver si venimos para acá." Last Sunday was Calle Ocho, by the way. I missed it.
You were there?
No, I missed it.
Oh,
that was the Sunday that I was coming up. I was driving up already. That's
heard que hubo fajazón. There's always all these baceros fighting, bro.
Dude, it's pretty bad.
Speaking of baceros, Carmen Beatriz, our biggest fan, give it up.
Yeah.
Up to Carmen Beatriz. She loves us. She says our show is puro. What was it? Puro.
Algo y chusmería.
Puro chusmería y mal gusto.
Mal gusto y chusmería. Pero bueno, here I got something special for you, mamita.
Go ahead. There you go.
Ahí está, to mal gusto.
I think she's probably the mom of the tan skin guy that was talking about.
Me voy para Cuba.
Me voy para Cuba porque todo aquí está muy caro, porque yo no puedo más. Ay, me huele el culo.
No sabía que Yuma iba a ser tan difícil.
Ay, qué difícil la vida aquí. Clase come mierda. Holy shit. And speaking of come mierda, I almost had an Abel situation here with the camera.
Oh, you kicked the shit out of it?
I almost kicked it and got...
Oh, dude, that last weekend, dude, that didn't make the cut for any.
Of course
TikTok?
it did. It made not for the TikTok. No, it did not. But it did make the cut for the.
Because that was some
Hablando
funny,
mierda segment.
bro. That was so funny, bro.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Ay, Dios mío, ayúdame que esto te está desarmando," and I was all over the place, dude. And then I didn't tell you, but I had a pulled muscle, and I don't know if you noticed that I had like a cool thing going on like this the whole show.
No,
bro, my leg was stiff like a fucking.
Oh my god, bro.
Anyways,
man. All right, so I think we had a pretty good show.
That's
today.
it, Papa. We gave him an hour and a half almost.
Show number 8 in the books. We spoke about collateral interest. We spoke about how some of these despicable type motherfuckers are making Hispanics look online. Spoke to Peter Dominguez, the Forex trader.
Yeah, Peter Dominguez.
Peter Dominguez, the Forex trader. And I think we're good, man.
Yeah, dude.
I think we're good.
Well, let's say bye to everybody.
All right, guys. So thanks so much. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for watching a Cuban Dudes show. And we will see you guys again next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so. You're watching us on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button if you can. That certainly helps us out a lot. Follow us on Instagram at Cuban Dudes. Facebook, if we got the Facebook, of course, you can find us there. And we will see you guys again next week at 7 p.m. with a lot more interesting stuff and better guests. And we try to get better and better each week. So that's our promise to you guys. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Bye.
Chaito.
Mira para acá, bro. You could tell.
¿Qué pasó?
You could tell.
What happened, dude? ¿Qué te pasó?
You could tell that I'm fucking that I've been drinking. I loaded the sponsor spot instead of the ice.
Oh, dude, ese Habana Club está bueno. I can smell it from here, homie.
Bye, guys. This has been El Cuban Dudes Show with Andy and Abel. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@CubanDudes, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram @CubanDudes. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.